Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with ExcelR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if ExcelR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concepts. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with ExcelR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank ExcelR for being a part of it.
was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about ExcelR and I enrolled in ExcelR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exams to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give.
Good afternoon, all. I hope you're all doing well. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Okay. Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. Good afternoon, Prashant sir. Prashant sir, can you please start the session?
Hey, you're able to hear me, Shishmita?
Yeah, yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. So good to start?
Yes, sir, you can start further.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. So hope you all are doing great, everyone. So welcome back once again, everyone, to our agentic AI sessions. So we will be able to go ahead and continue with our today's discussion, like where we have already completed yesterday about like let's say we understood about LangChain agents, how it's going to play an important role, what are all the important components being associated with it, right? So we were able to go ahead and do all of them. Okay. And right now, if you could be able to observe here, so today we are going to discuss about the Langgraph. Okay, there is something called as the Langgraph agents. So that's something we are going to look into. Once the Langgraph agent. Okay, so we discussed about the Langgraph agents. Now we will go, LangChain agents. We will move into the Langgraph, and then I will also show you some more no code AI agents, like how you can be able to develop it on your own without any difficulties. Okay, that's something which we are going to discuss. Okay, so those are all are the components which we are going to discuss. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with our today's session. And from there, we all can be able to proceed further with the remaining topics. Give me a couple of minutes. Let me share my screen quickly. And from there, we all can be able to proceed further, everyone. Okay. So yesterday, as we have covered successfully the LangChain part, right? So that's something which we have already covered successfully. So LangChain is done. Now within LangChain, yesterday we learned about what exactly is LangChain. So we have done some hands-on activity associated with it. And then we also learned about the React pattern, right? So these were some of the topics, and then we were able to do the hands-on. So now what we are going to discuss is, let us understand that how the graph is going to play an important role. Okay. So what exactly is a graph in the like programming? So right in the programming, how graph plays an important role. Okay. So that's something which we need to understand here. So let's say when we talk about the graph here, right? So graph is ideally a data structure, right? So when you talk about the graph, it's also agentic world only. So graph is basically a data structure where this graph as a data structure will actually help to show all different connections. So if there are any connections, or let's say if there are any dots associated with it, right, between the things. So that can be done with the graph. When you say graph specifically, so the graph is basically a data structure which is available where it is going to help us out to show all different types of connections between various things which are being available. Okay, it is basically here being made up of two things. Okay, one being called as the nodes. Okay, like these are called as the things basically, those are called as the nodes. Okay, and then you also have here something. So if you observe over here edges, okay. So edges here are nothing but like these are what we call it as the connections between the things. Okay. So so if you see here in this case, right, these are the connections between the things. Okay, so you have here in this case like this is a graph, right? So graph is basically data structure. Okay, so graph as a data structure is going to help you out in order to show all the connections between the things, and it's been made up of basically two things, as I mentioned. One being the nodes. Nodes here are called as vertices. Basically, those are here things, and then we have other component in the graph that is edges, where we will have these are called as the connections between multiple things which are being available. Like for an example, let me give you some real life examples where you can understand it in a much broader and in a better manner, I would say. Okay, let's say we have here Google Maps. Okay, so Google Maps again. For Google Maps, what is a node here? The node is location, because it is going to help us out in identifying the location. What are the edges here? Edges means which connects them, right? Edges are nothing but the roads, right, between them. Let's say you have now a source and destination. So when you open the Google map, location is your node, but now the way, that's the roads which connect to that particular location where you want to reach. No, that is edges. That means those are the roads which are going to allow you to be connected, and then you can be part of it, right? So roads between them are called as edges, and location specifically here is being classified as a node in this. Okay. And then you also have your Facebook, right? In the Facebook, what is a node or a thing? The thing is a people over here. Okay. And what are the edges? So people, what they do in Facebook, ideally they are friends. Okay. So they go ahead and create a friendship between them. Okay. So all the friendship is going to be created between them. So you have an example of a Facebook where you have node as a people and edges as a friendship between them. Okay. And then in the same way, let's say you have flights, right? For flights, what is the node? The node will be cities. Okay. For flights, the nodes are nothing but cities. Okay. And then the flights between them. Okay, so whatever the flights which are between them, right? That is edges. What I'm trying to make you understand is not an exam. The point what you should know is what is node and edges. You should have the clarity. Node is ultimately the thing where you want to go or what is that you are achieving. Edges are nothing but how to connect them so that you can be able to reach to these positions appropriately without having any constraints or difficulties. That's the main idea. Okay. So like that, you have to understand it. Let's say you open a web page. Okay. Let's say you open a web page. Now node here is web page itself. That is your application. Okay. And if you see edges, right, edges is nothing but it is a hyperlink. Okay, hyperlink means when you click on that link, then only it will connect to your web page, right? When you go click on that hyperlink, then ultimately when you click on that particular hyperlink, it is going to be like moving on to the web page specifically. Okay, so whenever you want to show any relationships or any path, graphs are going to be the best choice, right? It's not always you are going to create a singular application, right? There are applications where we are being dependent on multiple other platforms which are available or everywhere, wherever we need any relationships or paths to be like connected, right? That's when this is going to play here as an important. Okay, so that's the core idea. Like the main point is, if you all know about the relationships and all, right? So same thing, like in order to have those specific relationships, or it may be even a path. Okay, so for any such thing, right, what is needed? You require one-stop solution, and that's your graphs. That's it. So this is the core idea which we all here should be aware about. Like as you see, there are multiple nodes and then edges. Like you have on the other side, one is Google Maps, where you have location as a nodes, and then roads between them is going to act like edges. Facebook, again, people is a node, friendships between them is on edges. Flight routes, again, you have cities as a nodes, and then direct flights between them is going to be classified as an edge. Web pages, again, web page is your node, and hyperlink between them, between those pages are called as edges. So ultimately, from these examples, what you have to understand is wherever we wanted to show any relationships or path, right, then definitely graphs are considered to be here the best choice, which we all should here be able to consider. Okay, I mean, that's the overall idea or the picture which we all should here be able to consider. Okay, so hope that this makes sense to all of you. So this is the clarity which here we should be able to consider. Okay, now I'm going to take you all further, like what exactly is the next thing. Let's have a look into it. Now, what are the types of graphs which are there? Like, okay, we understood that graph is needed for all the relationships and trying to connect multiple dots so that we can handle the things effectively. But let's understand what are the different types of graphs which are available currently, right? One is we have here a direct graph, right? We have one here as a direct graph. That means connections will go only in one direction. Okay, so that means direct graph means, let's say it will only, I mean, whatever connection you are going to do, because graph means at the end of the day it's connection. But how you are going to connect is being discussed right now in the types of graph. So one here being considered to be the direct graph. So as part of the direct graph, here the connections, whatever are there, that is gonna go in one direction. Okay. Here the connections are going to be in one direction. So let's say, for an example, if A is following B, let's say if A follows B, it will be A only follows B. That's one direction. It cannot be, okay, it cannot be like, let's say B follows A. Now this is not possible. This is not at all possible. Like B follows A. What I'm trying to say is either one. You cannot take in both the directions, because that's how direct graph works. Direct graph says connections will here go only in one direction. That's it. If it is A to B, that's it. Now again, you cannot take and say B to A. That is not allowed. Okay, so that's how it should be correlated. Like here, if you observe very clearly, this is from A to B, that is it. Or either B to A, but not both of them. That is not allowed. Okay, so that is how connections would go in one direction. And then we have another type of a graph, which is called as undirected graph. Okay, so we have another graph available over here, which we call it as the undirected graph here. In undirected graph, what happens? Whatever connections are there, so those connections, like it will go both the ways. Okay, whatever connections are there. So here, your connections in this scenario will be able to go in both the ways basically. Okay, like example, you have Facebook friends. A is friend with B, means B is also friend with A only, right? So that is undirected. Like connections will go in both the directions. As I said, so let's say the best example you can take Facebook. Let's say A is having a like A is friends in the Facebook with B. So obviously it indicates that B is also friend of A, right? So it works in both the directions. That is undirected graph, quite contrasting to the direct graph. Okay, direct graph connections will only go in one direction, whereas your undirected graph will ensure that connections are going to be done in both the ways. Right, as I said, you have your Facebook friends, like A is friend with B, that means obviously B is also friend with A. That's how it's going to work. And then the final type of a graph after direct and undirected graph here is like we have another one in this scenario, that is your weight graph. We call it as here. Okay, we have another one that is here considered to be the weight graph. So weight graph means what? Like each connection. Okay, weight graph here means each connection will have a weight or a cost. Okay, weight graph here in this case means it's very clearly gonna let us know that each edge, that is nothing but each connection, will have some weight associated with it, or maybe the cost. Okay, like example, distance between cities in kilometers, right? That is something like which we need to see there is some amount of measurement if it is happening, then it is a weight graph, we call it as. Okay, so here what will happen is the connection which are being there, the connection is going to have a weight or cost associated. That's your weight graph. Okay, so this is the understanding which we all should be able to be here aware about. Like you see, there is a directed graph. Okay, that is connections will go in one direction only. As I said, if A follows B, that's it. You will have only one direction. Either A follows B or B follows A, but you cannot have both of them. In your undirected graph, connections are going to go in both the ways, right? As you see here, example, like for an instance, A is friend with B. B is also obviously friend with A, right? Like that's how it is going to be. Like connections are going to be able to go in both the ways. And then you have on the other side, that is a weight graph. In the weight graph, each connection is going to have a weight or a cost associated with it. Like example, as I said, distance between cities in kilometers, or anywhere you see that there is a measurement being associated with, that is where you are going to see a weight is going to be associated. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Now I will show you the different patterns in which the graphs are going to work. Like there are basically two common ways. Okay, this is like types of graphs. Now I'll show you what are the common ways in which the graphs are going to work. Okay, there are actually two common ways. Okay, basically here in this scenario, there are indeed two common ways in which we can do. Like one is adjacency list. This is very, very common and very frequently used. Okay, so adjacency list is one of the common ways in which the graph is going to work. So how it is going to be, it is going to be like this. Okay, you'll have A, okay, and then you'll have here B comma C, something like this. Okay, and then you will have your B here. Okay, and then you're going to have in this case A, and then D, let's say then C. I'm putting some randomly. Okay, A, and then here is D, and then B. Okay, so how to read this? How to read this is the adjacency list which is available within the Langgraph. Okay, that is within the graph concept. So how it is going to be read or how it is going to be discussed is, it indicates that A is right now connected to B and C. Okay, and then here B is connected to A and D. Okay, and then C is connected to A and D is connected to B. This is great when connections are going to be few, like when there are limited amount of connections. This is how you are going to see. The adjacency list is what we call, and this is very frequently used, or this is very, very common, I would say, within the graph concept, where you will see the outer layer, that is A, here is connected to the ones which are in the bracket, that is B and C, the square bracket. Okay, here is again connected to A and B. Now C is connected here to A, D here is connected to B. Okay, like this, you are going to see the connections are going to be done within the graph concept. Okay, so that's the most important thing which we all here should be aware about. And there is also another thing apart from adjacency list. I said, right, this is 99% of the times it is always adjacency list only. That remaining 1 to 2%, there are chances that even this may also work. So I'll explain to you what exactly it is. We basically call this as the adjacency matrix. Okay, so we here have something called as the adjacency matrix. Adjacency matrix means this is great when your graph is having many connections. Okay, whenever there are many connections within your graph, it will be like this. Okay, so you can take like 0, 1, 1, 0, and it will be mapped to A. Like this, some random numbers. Okay, so like this, it will be mapped, which is very rare, but yeah, this is how it can be basically mapped, I would like to say. Okay, this is adjacency matrix. So whenever you have many connections, or when your graph is very dense enough, that is when you will be able to see that you will see there are a lot of connections associated over here. Many connections are being there. Due to all these many connections only, this is how your adjacency matrix is going to work. Okay, that's the clarity which we all here should be aware about. So ultimately, like, before we move on to the Langgraph, we did not enter into Langgraph, but right now we are very clear with the graph structure, the types of graphs, and in common ways, what are the common ways in which the graphs can be plotted. So we got that idea, like what is nodes, what is edges. So because this is a very prerequisite everyone has to understand before we enter into Langgraph and see what exactly is happening, because Langgraph is being dependent on these core concepts only, whatever we have discussed right now, right? So it is been totally dependent on that. Okay, so we understood what a graph is. We understood how nodes and edges are going to work. And then we also understood that how one node can connect to like another and then can work collaboratively is also something which we have got to know here. Okay, so that's the most important thing. Like here, if we say, okay, let's say here I'll say you what is a node, what is an edge here. See, in this scenario, if you observe very clearly, like each box here, the box is a node. Okay, and whatever here A, this you see, right, A, B, C, and D, these are your edges. Okay, so that's something which we should be here be clear. Okay, this is how exactly your Langgraph is going to work. Anyhow, I'm going to explain to you. But yeah, this is the overall understanding, everyone. Whenever we talk about the graph, it's all about having those relationships and then proper connections between the different things, whatever we are being able to build. Okay, so it's been made up of two components, nodes, those are called as the things. And then we have edges, basically those are your connections between the things. Okay. And I have given you some examples, as you could be able to see here. Like I was just able to correlate some Google Maps, right? And then Facebook, and then flights, web page. Like we understood what is classified as a node here, and then what else is being classified here as an edge, right? We understood them in a very clear manner. And then you here also have some relationships or paths associated with it. If you observe here, like there are different types of graphs which are associated in this manner, right? We have a direct graph where connections are going to go in one direction. Okay, like it can be either A follows B or B follows A, but it cannot be both. So any one. So that's how your directed graph is going to work. And then you will have your undirected graph where connections will go in both the ways, right? A is friend with B, okay, or maybe you can say B is friend with A. In both the ways, it can be able to work. That is your undirected graph, which we here call it as. Okay, and then we have the weight graph. So weight graph means each connection here will have some weight okay, or cost associated with it. Like as I said, for an example, distance, okay, distance between the cities, like let's say on in kilometers, something like that, wherever any number is required. Okay, so there we will be able to use the weight graph. Okay, so that's the core point we have to understand in this scenario. So if you see, there are two common ways in which the things can be handled here. Okay, as I said, one is your adjacency list. Okay, like where you see in the adjacency list, as I was able to show you, right here, it very clearly portrays that A here is connected to B and C, and then B is here connected to A and D, and then C connected to A, and then again D is connected to B. That's how. Okay, this is great. Most of the times adjacency list is only going to be considered, and on the other side you have adjacency matrix, right, where you see that there are some numbers being associated. So this is really going to be great when your graph is dense. That means when there are many connections associated with it, then definitely your adjacency matrix is going to play an important role over there. Okay, so that's the overall clarity or the picture with which we should be here aware. Okay, so now I am going to take you further down the line. Okay, that is right now we will do one basic program to understand that how the graphs are actually going to work in the world of the agentic AI. Okay, that's something I'm going to explain to you right now so that you all can have a better clarity. Okay, let's just have a look into it, that how it's going to work. Whatever we discussed, right, in the same lines only I will be able to go ahead and explain to you. But before I explain the hands-on activity, right, I would request you first to take down the notes. Are there any questions from anybody based on whatever we have discussed with regards to graphs? I'll give you 1 minute time. Just let me know if there are any questions with regards to whatever we were being able to discuss as a graph concept right now. Before I take you all to the hands-on activity, are there any questions with regards to graph concept? Anybody? Okay, adjacency list. Yeah. So basically, adjacency list means now we will understand in a much detailed way. But when we do the hands-on activity, we will target adjacency list only. But I'm just letting you know here, adjacency list means whatever A is there, right? Let's say A here is there. Now A is trying to connect to B and then C. So for that, it is been represented in this manner. A on one side and then B and C on the other side. That's how it is being represented over here. Okay. And then you have here B. So where B is now trying to correlate or connect with A and then D. Okay. And then your C is there. Your C is trying to connect with A. Okay. And then you have your D. D is connected with B like this. So here it is how, like if you represent in this way, right, it's not going to be clear at all. I mean, see, this is not looking great. So due to which they have kept it in the form of this list, where you see on the left hand side, that is A. A is right now connecting here to B and C, which is within your square bracket. And then B is right now connecting to A and D. And then C is connecting to A, and then D is connecting to B. That is what I have explained here as an adjacency list over here. Okay. Yeah, I see all of you are clear. Yeah, we will create the graph by writing the code. Exactly. That is what we are going to do as a hands-on activity, Aditya. But before that, I asked everybody to have a look into and then let me know if there are any questions. But whatever question you have asked me, that's what we are going to do right now as a hands-on activity. Okay, where we will create the graph by writing the Python code. Yeah, correct. All these are the nodes only. Nilesh. Okay, these are all. Okay, so and then we have here uh, graph theory. Yeah, I will suggest Dr. Mukesh. Okay, definitely I will suggest. So just remind me at the end. I will suggest that. Okay. So indirected graph is edges with no direction or edge having. Okay, it is a direction in both the ways. Anwar. Okay, it will be having both the directions. Okay, that means it will go in both the ways, either A to B or the direction can be from B to A. Okay, that is how it is going to act like. Okay, are there any more questions with regards to the graph concept, whatever we were been able to cover as part of the AI agentic world? Any other things before I take you all to the hands-on activity? Okay, I don't see any more questions from anybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and then try to proceed further with the remaining part. So let me take you to the code, give you the understanding of the entire code. Then you all can be able to practice it from your end, and then we will be able to move ahead. Okay, so okay, so if you observe here, this is the most important point which we all here should be aware about. So now let me take you all to the hands-on activity. But before that, so is A edge is connecting B and C node? Yes, correct, Sangeeta. That's the right understanding. Okay, now let's go and do this. Whatever we learned right now, let's try to do the same using the hands, like practical part, like where we will understand the program and we'll be able to move ahead with. Okay, so same. I would request every one of you to open the Google Colab, right? So as you know, like Google Colab is one main source for us, like an IDE, where we are developing all our Python code. Okay, so again, you have to go to your Google Colab. That's where we are going to do all our activities. So this is something which we already completed yesterday, like how to wrap it in the LangChain, and then how an agent can be able to go ahead and can calculate and can give us the outputs, right? So this is something which we covered. Now I'm taking you further to the graph concept, right? How the graph is going to play an important role. That is majorly the adjacency list. You see that I created some random adjacency list. First of all, you see the graph here, right? Okay. If you see in this case, the graph, this is totally the adjacency list. I created it. You can also create your own graph, right? So here I am creating a graph using a Python dictionary. And now you see that each key which you see, right? It's like a, okay, and they are being connected to its neighbors. Like as I said, A is being here connected to B and C. Okay, B and C are your nodes. Like if you see A is connected to B and C, now B is here connected to A and D, C connected to AD, and then D connected to BC, right? So this is called an adjacency list. And this is how, this is a very common way for graphs to go ahead and store the values. Okay, so today, whatever graphs are present, all those graphs are playing a very important role in order to store these values. Okay, so today, whatever graphs are there, those graphs are majorly moving ahead with adjacency list mode. Okay, and then they are trying to store all the graphs using this adjacency list concept. Okay, so if you see here very clearly, in this is where we are creating a graph, like using a Python dictionary. And then what we are trying to do here is we are ensuring that here your A is going to connect to B and C, B connecting to A and D, C connecting to again AD, D connecting to BC. Now here there may be questions. Maybe you would be having it in your mind, thinking that why only A, B, and C, or why only B, A, and D, or why only C, A, and D? Okay, why these connections? Can't I be able to go ahead and create some more connections or in a different way? You are absolutely welcome to do it. I am nowhere saying that A should only always connect to B and C. I am not saying that B always should connect to A and D. You can change it. You can change it in whatever flexible way you want, because within the graph, whatever we want to store, we will be able to put it. That's it. That's the main idea here. Right? That is the main idea what we are trying to emphasize over here. Okay. So you can always create your own graph using that Python dictionary, and then you will see that there will be on one side edges, on the other side it is a nodes within the bracket. And then you can see here very clearly that, like, if you observe here, A is here connected to B and C, and then B connected to A and D, C to A and D, and then D to B and C. That's how it is going to work. Okay, now how to print the graph? So if you really want to print the graph, what I want to let you know is, here in a very clear way, all whatever the loops are there, right? So if you see, first it will print here the graph adjacency list. It's just a print statement, so you can ignore it. It will say graph adjacency list, and it will loop through each node in the graph using the for loop, and then it is going to print the node and the list of nodes to which it is been connected to. So what step 2, whatever you see, right, that is going to print in a proper formatted manner. Okay, so here it will say A is connected to B and C. Okay, so the step 2 output will be like this. Let me show you. Okay, whatever the step 2 which we have, right? So that step 2 is going to proceed further, and it will say something like this. Okay, so it will say here A is, okay, it will simply say that A is connected to B, okay, and then C. It will say something like this. Okay, and then again in the same way it will say B is connected to whatever we mentioned it in the Python program, A and D. Okay, so that is what will be printed here. So you have here used a for loop and then again a print statement. So basically the for loop will be able to go through each node which is available in the graph, and it is going to print the nodes, and then along with that the list of nodes will be considered, and then it is going to be connected to it. Okay, so that's how you will see that your A is connected to so and so, and then your B is connected to so and so. Like this it will print, and it will be able to provide us the list. So that we can see the structure of the graph in a very clear manner without any difficulties. Okay, now comes an interesting concept which we here call it as the BFS. Okay, that is your something called as the like it's called as a breadth first search. Okay, BFS here is nothing but it is your breadth first search is what we call it as. Okay, so what it will do, I'll say. Okay, so it's a little interesting concept. It's the same, I mean, simple and the same thing what we have already learned, but yeah, it will give you some good clarity is what I just want to let you know. So let's say when we talk about the BFS, okay, that is your breadth first search, we call it as, okay, so breadth first search, which is here considered to be the BFS. So you know, first it will what it is going to do. First it will visit the starting. Okay, it will visit the starting node first. Then it will go and meet its neighbors, right? It will go ahead and will try to meet its neighbors, whoever are there. Okay, and it will keep meeting the neighbors only until everybody, until it goes and visits everybody at the end of the day. Okay, so what it does is, so your BFS which is there, right, that is nothing but your breadth first search. It will quickly go ahead, visit all the starting node, then it will meet the neighbors, and then it will again keep on meeting the neighbors until everybody is being visited appropriately. Okay, so that's the point we all have to understand here. Like BFS means we want to ensure that every node which is present, okay, it is being connected appropriately. So let's say if you observe over here, like this is where we started our function, right? Where we are defining our function here called as the BFS. That is your breadth first search, we call it as. So we have a start node. Start node is what, where we begin like A, right? A is our first node, right? So where we begin with the A, and then if you see here visited means, you see visited is empty. Visited means it will keep a track of every node, whatever we are already visited. Like A as a node. Now you see that A as a node will try to connect with B and C, and it should also connect with D. That means that one circle is completed. One circle is completed and A will be considered as BFS. Okay, so BFS means we want to ensure that we are starting with the node, and that start node is considered to be the A, the alphabet A, and then it will track visited. Visited means it will keep a track of nodes, whatever we have already visited. And then there is a queue. Queue means it is a list to decide which node to visit next. Okay, so it starts with the first node, that is A. Once A completes all its turn, then it goes to B. Then B completes its turn, then it goes to C. And once C completes its turn, then it will go to D. Okay, and then here it's a simple print statement. It will print in a new line, that is a BFS traversal. That's it. That's it. It's just gonna go ahead and print, nothing else. Now there is a while statement over here, okay, or a while condition. So if you see here, while queue means what? It will keep looping as long as there are nodes to visit. Okay, why I kept while condition there is it will keep looping as long as there are nodes to visit. Okay, and then your current equal to queue dot pop is there, right? That will take the first item from the queue. That's going to take the first item from the queue, and it will check in the if condition. Let's say it will check if we have already visited it. If we have already visited it, it will print saying that, like it will just print the current node. Okay, if it is already visited, or then it will ignore. But if it is not visited, it will print saying that, hey, I visited whatever the node you have visited it. It will be printed there. Okay, and then finally it will mark the node as a visited node, right? If you see the visited dot append. So once you have visited that, it will append it by saying that I have visited this particular node, and then it will add all its neighbors to the queue, so we visit them next. So once A is completed, then the queue will be extended to the next one, that is B. Okay, in this way, we visit one node, then its neighbors, then again their neighbors, and so on. That's how your BFS, that is your breadth first search, is going to work ultimately. Okay, and here is where we are trying to run the traversal. So we are saying that start with A. So we are calling our BFS function here, that is your breadth first search function, where we are going to start from node A, and we are going to visit the reachable nodes nearby. That is whatever all the reachable nodes are there, we will visit them step by step manner, and we will be able to move ahead. Okay, so we are going to call the BFS function ultimately, and then we are going to start the node A, and then we are going to visit here all the reachable nodes in a step by step manner. Okay, so that's the overall clarity, which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. That's it. So now you see the output. When you go and run this, first of all, you are going to get this. Okay, so A is connected to BC, B is connected to AD. From where are we printing this? If you all remember, here is the step 2. Okay, so whatever you mentioned here in the dictionary format, now all of them are being considered. Okay, all of them are here being considered, and that's going to be printed here. Right, in the step 2, we are going and then trying to print it appropriately. That's what is happening over here. And then you see the BFS traversal, right? From where you see that we have printed here, that is a BFS traversal. So now it is visited. So what happened over here? So A was able to go and visit B, C, and D. So first, your breadth first search traversal was able to go ahead and meet appropriately. So what is happening here? So the graph is here made of 4 nodes, that is A, B, C, and D. Now you know each node is here connected to other nodes, like in the form of a friends. Like let's say you are seeing very clearly from the adjacency list, now A is here connected to B and C, and then B to A and D, and then C to A and D, and then D to B and C. Okay, so that means it says A knows B and C, B also knows A and D. So see, we are connecting everybody. If you see very closely, they're all interconnected to each other. That is the main intention of the graph, right? You see that A is here connected to B and C. And then if you see very closely, B is connected to A and D. If you see very closely, they're all interconnected to each other. When you consider A, B, C, and D, they're all interconnected or related in such a manner that they can always connect the dots and they can come up with a better result. And that structure is here what we are referring to as an adjacency list, where they know who is connected to whom in what manner. And then later we moved on to our BFS, that is our breadth first search, which is a way to explore how the graph works. So as I said, right, first we are starting from node A. So first we will visit A, then we will add A's neighbors. Who are A's neighbors? From the adjacency list, it is B and C. Okay, then visit B, then we will visit the B. Right now, who is B's immediate neighbor? B, then add B's neighbor, that is D. Then again visit C. C's neighbors are who? A and D. They're already in queue, right? They're already in queue or they're already visited. Then again visit D. Its neighbors are also already visited. So the order of visiting is A, B, C, and then D. Okay. So to put it in a very simple way, let me add you here. I mean, let me go ahead and put it in this way. In the whiteboard, it will be much interesting for you to understand the BFS approach. So what I said, you know that from the dictionary, okay, when we talk about A is connected to B and C. So we are starting from what? In the program, very clearly we said we need to start from A. Okay, so now it will start from A, the BFS. Okay, so we are starting from A. So who are the immediate neighbor? A's immediate neighbor are B and C. So they are already in the list now. They are okay, because only one time you will visit, not continuously. So A, B, and C are already there in the queue. They are visited, right? Now let's understand what next. Now we have to take B. So B will visit whom? B is going to visit A and D. So A is already there in the queue. A is already there in the BFS list. Okay, now B is connected to what? B is connected to A and D. What is the new one here? That is D. So B to D. It will be taken up. Next it will go to C. Okay, next it is going to be C. C is connected to what? A and D. Already A and D are visited. Already A and D are visited. So C will not get anything, empty. Okay, and then we will go to D. So if you go to D, D is connected to B and C. Already B and C are considered. So this is also empty. So even though it will be there, but you see A is visited, B is visited, C is visited, D is visited. That is it. So that is how you will see there is a BFS approach where it will traverse across and will see whether everybody is interconnected to each other or not. Okay, it will just traverse across. It is going to move across and see ultimately whether A, B, C, D, they are all visited or not. Okay, they are all being visited appropriately or not is what it is going to get here as an understanding. That's it. It's not going to get anything else apart from. Okay, so that's the core capability which we have to understand. So above one says this is how connections happen. Below ones, which is your breadth first search traverse, says that whether everything has been visited appropriately or not. It's like an invigilator who is going to check and see whether everything has been traversed. Traversed means whether everything has been considered or whether everything has been searched appropriately or not. That's how your A, B, C, and D are going to play an important role, like where it was able to go through everything and it understood. Okay, in a very simple way, if I would say, let's say you are exploring a building, right? Imagine you are exploring some building. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, let's say whenever you go ahead and explore a building, okay, so first we go into a room A, let's say, and from room A, okay, from room A, right, you see the doors to, okay, there are doors from room A, you are able to see the doors for room B and C, let's say. Okay, so then what you will do, you will walk into the room B first, right? And then you walk into the room C. So B shows you another door from there. Okay, from room B, you will see another door, that is room D, let's say. Okay, so you also go there too. So what I'm trying to make you understand is at the end of the day, you are visiting every room, but one by one, like once You visited room A, then you went to room B, then you went to room C, then you went to room D. But okay, one at a time you are taking without going back to the same room again and again, or without going back to the same room twice. That's the main idea here. Okay. So this is what I explained to you as an alphabets. Imagine in the real world, there is a room A. From the room A, you have seen that there is a room B and room C. Correct? So again, what did you do? So your room, first you went to room B. So from room B, you have seen that there is another room also. That's room D. So first you went to room C, then you covered room D. So overall, you covered every room which is available. Overall, you covered every room which is available. That is room A, room B, room C, and room D. Okay, that's how you visit every room, like one level at a time, without going back to the same room twice. Okay, that's the main idea. So that's how our main concept with regards to graphs are going to play as an important role. Okay, so when you talk about the Lang graph, it's a collection of nodes and their connections associated with, right? And then we have a adjacency list which will help us out how everything is connected to each other. And then you have your BFS, which is a breadth first search, where it will explore, where you can explore and it will go level by level and see whether everything is in proper connection or not. And then visited, it will keep a track of whatever nodes to which you have already been gone to. It will keep a track of all of them. That's it. This is how your graph, your adjacency list, your BFS and visited is going to play as an important. Okay. So this is the clarity which I just want to provide to all of you here in the form of a code. So now I'm going to share this code to all of you where you can also be able to refer this. Okay. So I'm going to share the code to all of you where you can also be able to practice and can let me know once you are done with it. I'll give you 5 minutes of time, everyone, where you can also go through the code line by line. Okay, and then once you have been able to go through the code here line by line, right, then just try to ensure that you execute the code, check the output based on whatever I've explained to you, so that you can also be able to have a look into the output, like how graphs actually work within the AI agentic world. Okay, where it is going to see how each and everything is interconnected and they have a proper relations to handle the things. Okay, so that's the overall clarity. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this code to all of you quickly over here. Okay, I think we have one document yesterday which I shared it. So I will be sharing it there only so that it will be easier for all of you to follow. Let me stop sharing the screen and I'll share the document to all of you. Okay, I think it's the Lang chain. So I'm sending the second code right now. Okay, in the same document which I shared yesterday. Don't take the first one, okay? I kept a dotted lines. Underneath the dotted lines, we have the second code, okay? So I'm just sharing it to all of you. So let us right. Okay, I just shared in the main chat to all of you. So please utilize this document, the langchain.txt. Okay, within that langchain.txt only, I was able to go ahead and put it. See, here is how your document will be. Ignore the first program. Already we were been able to complete this as part of our yesterday's discussion. So wherever you see there is a dotted line like this, okay? Where you see there is a dotted line, right? Underneath that you have your code. So this is the code which you need to execute. But before you execute the code, go line by line. Okay, so go line by line and make sure that you are able to go ahead and cover all of them without any difficulties or concerns. Okay, so first try to complete all of them without any constraints. So once you are done with that push, then execute the code, see the output of the program based on whatever I've explained. You just need to check and let me know once you're done with it. Okay, just acknowledge it in the chat saying that you're done. Then I will be able to take you to the other concept. Okay, please complete and do let me know, everyone. I'll give you 5 minutes of time to complete this activity. So once you are done, okay, please do acknowledge. If you are stuck anywhere, if there are any questions specifically, do let me know so that I can be able to guide. Okay, I see already Siddiqui done. Great job. Keep it up. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Nilesh done. Good job. So yeah, the people who all are completing it, acknowledge it in the chat and then leave it. The people who are doing it, I'll give you 5 minutes to please complete. Yes, Diki, you can start from B or anywhere. That's fine. Ingita, done. Good job. BFS, I already explained it, Aditya. Okay. So breadth first search, it's called as, and I have already given a clarity here, like number of times I repeated. You see that A connecting to B and C. That means both of them, all three of them are visited. Okay. And then you have B connected to D. Correct. So in this way, already A, B, C, and D are connected and they are visited by BFS. Now, when C will come and D will come, already these are all connected and visited, right? So they are called as breadth first search approach. BFS approach means it will just monitor and check whether A, B, C, and D, they are all interconnected to each other appropriately or not, or whether there are any difficulties associated with it. It will just quickly go ahead and will check all of them appropriately. That is it. As I have also given an example here, right, for BFS, let's say you have a room A. From room A, you can move to the doors. From room A, you can move to the doors of room B and C. Okay, and from room B, you have seen there's a room D also. So what you will do first, you will go to room A, then you will go to room B, then to room C, and finally to room D. In that way, you cover all the 4 different rooms. In the same way, this is what BFS is saying. BFS is saying that first I will move to the A, then I will move on to B, then I'll move to C, and then I'm going to move to D. In this way, A, B, C, and D, all 4 of them are going to be covered. That is what is a BFS, which is a breadth first search, where it will ensure that everything is covered appropriately. Aditya. Okay. Okay, so I see most of you have mentioned that it is done. Code has a maximum limitation, Shivaji. That's the problem. Let me see if it can be done or not. Give me 1 minute. I will try, but I'm not sure whether it will go on. Okay, I shared it, Shivaji, to you. Okay, done. Okay, most of you acknowledge that you are done with it. I'm just checking. Okay. Yeah, most of you, I see that you all have mentioned that we are done with it. Good job, everyone. Anyone else who is still doing it? Anyone else? Last 1 minute for everybody to complete it, and then we will proceed further to the next important concept as part of it. Okay, hope you all are done with this. Okay, so now let's proceed further to the next concept. Okay, let's move ahead and then try to proceed to the new concept, like that is called as the Lang graph right now. Okay, let's understand what exactly is a Lang graph. Right now we understood about the graph concept. Now Lang graph will be very easy for all of you to understand it. Okay, so now when I will go ahead and explain to all of you about the Lang graph, it's going to be very easy and very understandable approach, because already we learned what is a graph. So definitely Lang graph is also going to be very easier. Let me go ahead and give you that understanding, like what exactly is a Langgraph and how it is going to be important for all of us. Okay. So now let me take you here to the world of Langgraph. Okay. Let's understand how Langgraph plays a very important role here. See, when I say Langgraph, right? See, Langgraph is a tool. Okay. This Langgraph is a tool which is being built on your Lang chain. Okay. So Langgraph is basically a tool which is being built ultimately on top of your LangChain platform. Okay. So with the help of the Langgraph, what we are trying to do here is, so we are actually controlling the flow of the agent. So we want to go ahead, control the flow of AI agent. So in order for us to control the flow of AI agent in a step-by-step manner, okay, or maybe in a flow chart, we definitely need the Langgraph there. Okay, so the very purpose of having the Langgraph here is it's a tool. The Langgraph is basically a tool which is being built here on top of your LangChain platform, where it is going to help you in order to control the flow of the entire AI agent in a step-by-step manner or in the form of a flow chart. So imagine like your AI agent is like a robot, right? Imagine you have developed an AI agent, which is a robot. First, what it will do, first, it will go through the thinking process, and then later is going to decide what it needs to do, right? It will go ahead and decide like what exactly it has to do. Then it will be able to go ahead and will take all the related actions. Okay, and then it will finally move to the next task. Okay, then finally it is going to move to next task basically. So that's how it's going to work. Okay, when you talk about the lang chain specifically, so again, sorry, lang graph, as I said, like here is an example, right? Imagine you have an agent is here going to like work like a robot, where it is going to think, and then it will decide like what to do. It will be able to take its own actions, and finally it's going to move to the next task. So Langgraph gives your agent a very structured brain where it knows exactly what to do next, just like how a flowchart works, like, right? One step to one step, like step by step approach, how it is going to follow. In the same manner, your line graph is always going to give the agent a very structured brain where it will know like what step I have to do first, what is next, what's the third, what's the fourth, and then the final step. Okay. So that's how you will see that your entire flowchart is basically going to work. Okay, so that is the beauty of the line graph. You already know what is the purpose of the graph. The purpose of the graph is to ensure that everything is going to be connected appropriately. Okay, so here using the line graph, what are we trying to do? Okay, so using the line graph, what we have to understand here in this scenario is, okay, so it should be able to go ahead and first understand like how we can connect all of them as the dots. Okay, for that you need a structured brain, and that's where your line graph comes into the reality. Okay, so that's where your line graph is going to come into the picture, and it will be able to think on its own. It will decide like what it needs to do, then it will take the action, and finally it is going to move to the next task. That's it. Okay, so that's where your line graph is going to be very much helpful for us to ensure that there is a proper structured brain where it knows like what it has to do next. Like just like how flowchart works, in the same way your line graph is trying to work upon. Okay, let's say you want your AI agent to make the tea. Okay, let's say for an example, you have an AI agent. So your AI agent is required in order for you to make the tea, let's say. Okay, you have an AI agent to make the tea. Let's say you are teaching a robot how to make a tea. So let's say, imagine for a minute, there is no line graph. Okay, so without line graph, what is going to happen? So without line graph, you will see the robot actually might forget the steps. Okay, it might forget what steps it has to do, or it is going to, let's say, mix up the order, or it will keep repeating without knowing what exactly is happening over here, right? It can do any mistakes. Like imagine if there is no line graph, the robot can frequently do these steps. It will forget the steps to make the tea. It will mix up the order ultimately, and it will not understand what to do at the end of the day. And then it will keep repeating the same process again and again, right? But with a line graph, let's say if I have a line graph, you can design this like a proper flow chart. Like let's say you can say to your robot, get started. First step, you can boil the water. right? And then you add your tea powder. Okay, so you have to provide all the steps, and then you can say pour in the cup, like a flow chart or giving the directions. Pour in the cup, then you say add sugar, right? And then you can keep adding like this, and then finally you can say that, hey, I'm done with it. Okay, so now each step, whatever you're providing here, right? Each step here, start, boil water, add the tea powder, pour in the cup, add the sugar, or whatever each step we are seeing here, right? That each step here is considered to be node over here. Okay, so each step is here considered, in this case, the node. And arrow, whatever you see, right, from start to boil water, there is an arrow. From boil water to add the tea powder, there is an arrow. So whatever the arrows you are able to see here, right, that is called as connections. Okay, so each arrow, whatever is there, so that is here what we call it as the connection. Okay, where it is trying to connect appropriately, telling exactly like what has to be done next. This is how Langgraph is exactly going to follow the path. Okay, this is how the Langgraph which is present, right, it is going to follow the path appropriately without having any constraints or difficulties. Okay, so this is the core point which you all have to be aware about. So with the help of the Langgraph, okay, you can give a structured approach, like as I mentioned right now. So let's say we have taken an example of making a tea, and I said that imagine you are teaching a robot how to make a tea. Imagine without Langgraph, the robot might forget the steps, it might mix up the order, or it might keep repeating the same steps again and again. But let's say with the Langgraph, you can design this like a flowchart, like where you see you can start, you can boil the water, and then you can say add the tea leaves, you can pour in the cup, add the sugar, and you're done. That's so structured everything is going to be when we have the Langgraph associated. Okay, and your AI agents are also going to be very clear in understanding what they need to do rather than messing up everything. Okay, and here whatever each step is there, like start, boiling water, adding tea leaves, all those are called as the nodes. And whatever the arrows which are there, which is connecting them, right? That's each arrow is a connection, or you can call them as the edge also, telling what to do next. That's how your Langgraph is going to always follow the path in an exact manner without having any constraints or difficulties. So that's the overall clarity which we all here should be aware of. Okay. And yeah, that's one quick thing I just want to let you know. So today we are using Langgraph because all your LangChain, which is working as an agent, right? It definitely needs Langgraph, because without Langgraph, you cannot have a structured control. So structured control is only possible through Langgraph. Okay, where it is going to define like how the things are happening. It will control like how each and every step is going one by one appropriately, and it will also properly create a logical path rather than going just in a random manner without knowing what we are trying. Okay, so that's the most important thing which I just want to make it very clear to all of you. So if we are clear with that, then only it can be able to go ahead and can handle the things across. Okay, so today your Langgraph is very powerful within your Lang agents. It's all because it has some really core capability, that is, as I mentioned, okay, it has a very good structured control associated with it. Okay, and it can also be able to understand and can logically ask like how are we doing it, or when are we doing it, or why are we doing it. It will logically ask the question and then will do it rather than just going and doing it randomly. Okay, so it has definitely logical paths, and it will always follow the logical paths. It will never go in a random direction. Okay, if you have the Langgraph associated. Okay, and then it will also go in a step by step approach, like what is first step, then what's the second step, what's the third step. In a step by step approach, it will be able to go ahead and will try to target most of the things. Okay, that's how it's going to play as an important role. Like you have here very clearly, there is a structured control, and then we are going to define like how and when the things are happening here, and then we can control like what exactly is happening after each step. And finally, we can create the logical paths, and it can be able to help us out in a better manner by not having any random things considered. Okay, that's how your Lang graph plays a very, very important role in the Lang chain agents. Okay, so this is the core idea which I just want to give you here as an idea. This is all about the graph concept and then the line graphs. Okay, so first we understood graphs, understood that how it is implemented practically in the Google Colab, and then right now we completed the major part, that is nothing but right. We discussed about the Lang graph. So now with this, we are done with our Lang chains. We are done with the graphs concept. We are done with the Lang graphs. Okay. Now I'm going to help you out doing some hands-on activity without using any coding. Let's go ahead and create an AI. Okay, so we are going to create a no-code AI agent right now. So you remember already we created one on the last Friday using the Google dialog flow. But now I'm going to use another tool which can be helpful for all of us. Okay, so where I will be able to explain to you that how you can also create a new no-code AI agent, where we can also be able to create an AI agent without touching even a single part of it. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. But before that, any questions on the Lang graph? Anybody? Before we move on to the next one, right? That is about how to create a no-code AI agent using a separate tool. Before we move on to that, any questions on Lang graphs, whatever we have been able to discuss right now? Okay, so hope we are all clear with whatever we were been able to discuss. Yes, no, any questions from anybody based on whatever we were been able to discuss as part of the Lang graph. So hope we are all clear with everything, right? Because I don't see any question in the chat. Okay, so I don't see any specific questions. So obviously, so we don't have anything to be considered. So I will be able to quickly go ahead and explain to you like what is a no-code AI agent, and then we will do one hands-on activity. After which I'll give you the chance to develop one such on your own. Okay. So first of all, where every people or where everywhere in the market, people call no-code AI agents, right? So ideally, what exactly is basically a no-code AI agent? That's first thing which we all have to be aware about. Like when you talk about the no-code AI agent, right? So what exactly is a no-code AI agent? So that's something which we all should be aware about. Okay. So no code AI agent means now here this is an AI agent bot. Okay. In the no code AI agent, we will have the AI agent. Okay. So this AI agent here will act as a bot where it can understand whatever we are asking. Okay. It can reason us, and then finally it is going to act. Okay. So here your AI agent as a bot can understand, it can reason, and can finally can act. Okay. So now what the thing is, what is no code in this case? No code means it's a very simple English, right? No code means you are going to build one such AI agent without even writing a single line of code. Okay, without even writing a single line of code, we can be able to go ahead and can leverage or can create our own AI agent in a best way. That's the main thing. So if you see here, I'll just be able to go ahead and give you an example. Okay, like where you can see, like we can have our chatbot. Okay, where it can help us out in answering any product related questions. Okay, so you can create all of them without even writing a single code. Even if you are not a programmer, you can be able to develop. That's what I'll be able to show you right now practically. Okay, so like you can just create some great applications and you can be able to play around with them. We have really some great platforms where you don't even need to write even a single line of code and you can be able to handle the things appropriately. Okay, that is what we are going to discuss. So let's quickly go ahead and understand like what exactly is the tool which we are going to work upon. So that's the first thing I'm going to explain to you all right now. So we will use a tool called as the land bot. Okay, so we are going to use a land bot. Okay, this is another real-time AI agent, like real-time AI agents we can be able to go ahead and can create within it. And that's called as the land bot. Okay, so that's something we are going to create. Let me just put it up over here. Okay, so land bot is what we are going to create. Okay, so if you see here very clearly, Landbot is a real-time AI agent for your e-commerce applications. So what I'm going to do is, like right now, I'm going to create an AI agent using the Landbot. Okay. So in the Landbot, like we will have the, like we are going to create a customer service, right? We are going to create a customer support chatbot. Okay. So we'll create a customer support chatbot for e-commerce platform. Okay, this is what we are going to develop right now. So where we will go ahead and we'll create our own customer support chatbot for the e-commerce platform. So that's what I'm going to discuss with all of you. So let's say imagine, let's imagine you're running an online store called as some application. Let's say, okay, imagine that you're running an online store called as the something like trendy style. Okay, so imagine that you are running an online store called as the 20 style and you want your chatbot, which is going to handle like, let's say for customers, if anybody wants to track the order, like if anybody wants to go and look into the order tracking, or if anybody wishes to look into any refund request, like whether the refund is processed appropriately or not. Okay. Or if anybody wishes to look into any product related questions. Okay, anybody if they have wanted to go ahead and look into any product related questions or maybe the customer feedback. Okay, anything it can be. So if you see here, that's what we are going to target right now as a case study. So we are going to build this using the Landbot where no coding is needed at all. So as I said you right, we are creating a customer support chatbot for the e-commerce application. So we'll just take a case study. You can create like this number of case studies as you wish. So as I said, right, imagine we are running an online store called as the Trendy Style, and we want the chatbot to handle the order tracking, the refund requests, product questions, and the customer feedback. So it should be able to take all of them into consideration. Okay, and then we are going to build this land bot, like using the land bot, and then without using any coding, we will be able to go ahead and create this customer support chatbot for e-commerce. Okay, now let's go and then try to understand that how it can be done. So in order to do this, first you all need to go to the landbot.io. Okay, I'll share the URL to everybody also here. So you see that here in this case, we have landbot.io. Okay, so if you observe over here, this is a platform. You see that landbot.io. So I'll be sharing the URL to all of you so that you all can also be able to explore it. Okay, so let me go here and put it in the main chat. So you see that I was able to go ahead and add here the landbot.io. Okay. So this is a platform where we are going to create our own AI agent. Already we learned about the Google dialog flow in the last week. So right now we are creating, like we are exploring another platform called as a Landbot, where you can create an AI agent where you don't need to write even a single code to create it. So as I said, we are creating a customer support service for the e-commerce platform in the Landbot. So what you need to do, the moment you get an option here like Landbot, okay, the moment you enter into it, it will ask you to try the Landbot for free. You will be given the free trial for 14 days. That is 2 weeks. Okay, you'll be given the like chance here saying that try the Landbot for free, and you will be given 14 days of time, like where you can just click on try Landbot free, and it will allow you to go ahead and use the services for free of cost for 14 days. Okay, so let's say I will click on try the Landbot free. The moment you click on trying the Landbot free, I think it will ask you your Gmail account. You can just connect with your Google Gmail, right? So you see that your free trial expires in 14 days. So for you also, like it will show that your free trial will expire. So whatever you want to do for 14 days. After that, if you like, you can subscribe to it and can pay some amount of money. If you believe that, no, I don't want to take it up further, that's okay. You can ignore it from there itself. Okay, so right now, if you see, like the moment you go ahead and you log in yourself successfully, okay, then it will ask you some questions like whether if you are doing it for yourself, where did you hear about the Landbot, whether you are doing this as a personal project or an education project. It will ask you a number of questions like this. So you can be able to choose like whichever is appropriate. You can just choose those questions and complete it off. Okay. So now among this, like here, towards the left hand side, there is a home page like this. Okay. You have to click on the home page. Once you have been able to log in successfully, free of cost, don't need to pay any money, at least for 14 days. Okay. After that, if you wish, you can upgrade here. There is an upgrade button. Otherwise, you can totally ignore it. Okay. So here you see that this is where you see there is a Landbot option. And now it will say, welcome to Landbot, your name. And now here you have different options being available. So here is where I'm going to create an AI agent because I'm interested to go ahead and create an AI agent appropriately because that's my interest with which I want to go ahead and work upon. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and can create my own AI agent. So that's the main purpose of it actually. Okay, so right now, if you look into right in this scenario, so what am I going to do over here is like I'll click on the AI agent. Okay, I'll just click on here the AI agent. It will ask you where will you launch your AI agent. I will say web. See, remember WhatsApp means you have to have the business account. Okay, so if you say WhatsApp, then you need to ensure that it is having a business account associated with it. So WhatsApp, Facebook, they all work in your business account, not a personal normal account. Your agents will not work. If you really want to make your AI agent to run, you definitely need to have your business account set up. Only in the business account only it will be able to be working. So I'll click on the web here. Now it is creating my AI agent. Let's observe what it is trying to do. Okay. So now it is saying that it is giving me some sample AI agent, but I don't want that. Okay. So if you see here, you can provide your AI agent some name. Like I would say, let it be new AI agent. You can provide the role, which role it has to work upon. You can provide it. For me, it's customer service only, so I will ignore it. Customer service, otherwise I'd say role is customer service for e-commerce, I will say. Okay, let's say I'll say customer for e-commerce. Customer service for e-commerce, I can be able to go ahead and say. And then welcome message, you see that for everybody, the welcome message will be there. This, hi, my name is, let's say instead of new AI agent, I'll say my name is Alice. Okay, how can I help you today? So it will be a common message. You see that whenever like a chatbot or an AI agent gets popped out, right? Immediately you will see there will be a welcome message coming in. So that welcome message you can be able to provide it here. Now, whatever instructions you want, you need to provide it here. So I will clear this. Whatever is already present, I don't want them. So I want to go ahead and clear it off. So I am going to put my own data. So for that, what I will do is I'll check if I have anything. So I will go ahead and put my own data. I will share this also, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so I'm going to add my own instruction. So you see the instruction, I'm just saying to my AI agent, very, very important. If you don't give the instruction to your AI agent, then your AI agent will never understand that what it actually needs to do. Okay, so that's the main capability which we all have to understand over here. So you see that here I'm saying that, hey, you are a helpful customer service AI agent, and your goal is to assist the customers quickly and then politely. Okay, so follow the steps. Like, you have to greet the user warmly using their name if available. Ask what type of support they need. Give them the support like order tracking, or they need support for return or refund, or product inquiry, or any general question. Okay, and then based on the above choice, provide a helpful answer or guide them to the next step. And if they're asking for any tracking, like ask for their order ID and then show a mock status. And if they want a refund, confirm the order ID and explain the process for them. If the question is unknown or outside the scope, then politely say them, let me connect you with a human agent to assist further. And always end with saying that, hey, is there anything else I can help you with? Okay, use any name or order ID or any other dynamic fields, okay, as and when they provide it. See, very clearly I'm explaining to my AI agent that this is what I wanted. Now today it is so simple to create a chatbot. Today it is so simple to go ahead and create a chatbot at the end of the day. See, what am I trying to do? I'm just creating an AI agent. I came to Landbot, I gave a name, I provided the role, I just said what should be my welcome message, and my only focus, okay, my entire soul, heart, or brain, whatever you say, is in the instructions only. If my instructions are very clear, my AI agent is going to go and work like extraordinary. If my instructions are not very clear, then my AI agent also will get confused and it is going to mess up the things. So what am I going to do? So I am done with it. Okay, this is how I have created my agent. So, but now I want to test the agent, whether my agent is working successfully or not, or whether it can be able to handle the things appropriately or not. Okay, so I will say, okay, name, I will enable it. If anybody is putting the name right, at least it will be helpful. So I'll put the name and we'll leave it off. Now I will say test. Click on the test button here. Right, so you have here the test option available. See, right now what is happening is, hi, my name is new AI agent, how can I help you today? Okay, so let's do one thing. Okay, so let's say Alice. Okay, let me test it once again. Okay, so it's taking the pre-scripted one. So now let me do one thing. Let's try to put some random questions. So this is how your AI agent would look like. Now, what can I say? I'll say, what we can be able to ask is, okay, let's say, okay, how can you assist me? Let's say simply something like this. Okay, how can you assist me? Let me send it. Okay, I'm here to help you with any questions or issues you might have regarding the Landbot services. Whether you need any information or support, or free to ask. Okay, let's say, let's go ahead and publish this once. Okay, let me go ahead and publish and say, I want to start a chat. My AI agent is published. Okay, now you see it's coming. Right? Hi, my name is Alice. How can I help you today? So now I will say, let's say for an example, hi Alice. Let's see, ideally, like how a chat would work. Okay. Hello, it's great to hear from you. May I have your name, please? Okay, I will say Prashant. Let me send it. See, thank you, Prashant. How can I assist you today? In order tracking, return or refund, product inquiry, or general question? Okay, so I will say order tracking. Okay, So simply I will just go and say order tracking. See, this is an AI agent already. I just have given instructions and it is working accordingly. See, great choice, Prashant. Could you please provide me with your order ID? I will check the status for you. See, I will say my order ID is, okay, I will just say here, my order ID is 123. Let's send this. Okay. Let's see what it is going to do. Okay, thank you, Prashant. Let me check the status of your order with ID 123. Order status, your order is being processed and will be shipped soon. You should receive an update with tracking details shortly. Is there anything else I can help you with? I will say yes. Okay. Now let's do. So understand, see the way how it is communicating. Sure, Prashant, what else can I help you with today? Okay, like let's say I return policy. Okay, let's say for what it is trying to be. Okay, so return policy. Let me send it just with one instruction. See, our return policy allows you to return the products within 30 days of receipt. To initiate a return, you will need your order ID and the product must be in its original condition and packaging. Would you like me to proceed with a return or is there anything more specific you would like to know about the return policy? So I will say, okay, return policy. Okay, so let's see what it is going to do for me. Say it's gave me the return policy, eligibility, condition, process, refunds. Like you see how cool it is. Like just what we were being able to do here is, if you observe here very clearly, I went here, I just said the AI agent. I provided the name for my AI agent. I gave the role, right? The role and then the welcome message, simply the instructions. That's it. I gave simple instructions that what it needs to be taken into consideration. Okay, and then you see I gave the features what all I want. I need the name of the user. If you want email, you can select email, company, phone, or if you want any other field also, you can add it here. Okay, but I just was able to go ahead and select that I need the name. So that is the reason it asked me, before you proceed further, provide me your name. And if you have any sources, let's say add the source. See, why we need add source towards the left hand side, right? You see knowledge source. For an example, you may think in your mind, let's say my company has my own refund, like refund policy, or I have my own documentation, or I have my own knowledge base. If you want to provide all of them, then here there is an add source option, right? You see that there is an add source. You can click on this add source and here you can upload all the files whatever you have. Let's say you have your own frequently asked questions, so you can upload that over here and it will be able to pick all the questions from this document which you have uploaded. This I will explain to you tomorrow, like where you can upload your own document and from your own document only it will answer. Right now whatever answers it is providing, it is trying to provide based on its experience, but I did not upload anywhere. If you may be able to think, when I gave order ID 123, it just gave some data for, but there is no order ID 123 here, right? On the other side of the plate, if you see, right, I asked about the return and refund policy. What did it do? Ideally, whatever return and refund policy which is available in e-commerce, it gave us. But let's say you don't allow for 30 days. Your company only allows within 15 days. So then for that, you need to upload your own document with returns and refund policy. Then it will pick it from there itself rather than giving the AI agent the chance to pick the things on its own. Okay. So this is also another option which we have. So what I did, I was majorly focusing upon the instructions where I made it very clearly that you are a helpful customer service. Your goal is to ensure that customers quickly react and then politely they follow the approach. Okay, so we have to greet the user and then we need to ask the user what type of support they want. And then based on the choice, like they can provide a helpful answer or guide us to the next step. Okay, if they ask for tracking, then we need to ask for them the order ID. If they want a refund, then they can confirm them with the order ID. If you don't know the question, then say, let me connect with you with a human agent to assist further. Okay, always end with, is there anything else can I help you with? So the same thing it was been ending with. That's it. Okay, so this is the overall picture and I'm saying use always the name or the order ID which are dynamic fields available for us. That's the overall clarity which we all should here be aware of. Okay, and then if you wish you can test it. If not, you can publish it. Okay, so the moment you publish it, right? Okay, so you see that here, this is how it is being published and you can be able to connect with it. Okay, so let me, looks like something, should we have all this, please fill out all the fields. Okay, let's see, we have filled all the fields. Okay, I selected again the fields and buttons here, right? So, which I don't wanted it. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, and then again click on the publish button. So when I publish, right, it is going to give me the link. Okay, you can chat with the AI agent with the following URL. So what I will do is I'll copy this and I will be sending it to you. Just see whether you can chat or not. You can open this, the URL which I provided in the chat. You can open that and you can also be able to chat with whatever you want. In this way, whatever AI agent you developed, you can copy that AI agent. When you publish it, it will give you the link. You can copy that link and can share it to others who can also be able to go ahead and can chat in your chat. Okay, whatever the AI agent which you have been able to create. So this is how we can be able to create it with the help of the Landbot. Okay, I'll give you the instructions, whatever instructions I have added, so that you can also be able to use it. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes where you can also be able to go ahead and do this and let me know if you have been able to do it successfully or not. Okay, I provided everything in the main chat. So I would request you that you go to the Landbot. Okay, just try it with free account. Okay, and then provide your Gmail credentials. Just provide your Gmail ID, and then here there is an option. When you once you click on it, here the home button. If you see towards the left hand side, there is a home button. You can just click on this AI agent here. Click on the AI agent. Say web. Where are you going to launch? It is a web. Just say web over here. You don't need to do anything in this case. No code is required. You can just enable the name, provide whatever the name you want for your AI agent. Let it be the role customer service. If you wish, you can change the welcome message or you can ignore the same. And then instructions clear. There is a clear button. Just click on clear and clear all your instructions. Whatever instructions I have provided, you can add that, or you can also create your own instructions. Okay, there is no restriction that you have to use my own instructions which I shared in the chat, but otherwise you can also be able to like create your own instructions and can be able to add it in the instructions field here. After which you click on the publish button and ensure that the name is enabled. Okay, click on publish. After you publish, you'll get something like this. Okay, then start interacting with it. Like in whatever way you want to interact, start playing with it. So it says, hi, my name is Alice. How can I help you today? You can say, hi, Alice, like something like that. Okay. So it'll ask, may I have your name? Because I enable the name. So I gave my name. Then it says, okay, how can I assist you today? Just give some details, random details, and check how your AI agent is working even without writing a single line of. And you can just take the URL here of this and you can share it with any of your colleagues or friends. They can also be able to go ahead and chat with your AI agent which you have been able to create it. Okay, so that's the overall clarity which every one of you should here be aware of. Okay, so this is another new no code AI agent which we were being able to develop using the Landbot. Okay, using Landbot, we have created a new AI agent which is related to customer service for the e-commerce platform. Without writing even a single line of code, we have given great instructions to the Landbot, and Landbot is able to create an AI agent for all of us, and we can be able to play around with it. But in future, if you want any additional documentation or your own knowledge base, if you have, here there is an option to add the source, browse your files, add all the related information into it, and then you can just ensure that all the details are being added appropriately without any difficulties or constraints. Okay, so that's the overall clarity with which we all here should be aware of. Okay, hope that this makes sense to all of you. So I'm giving 5 minutes, quickly complete everyone, complete and then let me know in the chat. It should not take much time as I have given you all the instructions. You just need to go create, publish the AI agent from your end. Just interact with it. If it is working fine, just put it in the chat saying that you're done with it. Just mention done, that's it. Okay, please go ahead everyone. I'll give you 5 minutes to complete this activity entirely. Okay, tomorrow also we will start with no code AI agents. I will show you some other tools which are available. Okay, there are certain tools which are also available where you don't need to write even a single line of code, but can create an AI agent like how we were being able to do it in the Landbot today. Landbot is an application using the Landbot. We were able to go ahead and create a new AI agent which is related to customer service for the e-commerce platform. Okay, complete it everyone and do let me know once you are done with creating the AI agent. If you are confused, okay, you need to go to the home page here. Okay, there is a home page towards the left hand side. See my mouse. Okay, see, I'm here. Here is where you'll see once you log in, you have to go to your home page and here is where your AI agent. Click on it. Just say here web and provide all the details, whatever you want. If you wish, you can ignore everything as it is. Just clear the instructions, add the instructions, whatever I've given, and then publish it. But before you publish, just enable the name here so that it will ask the name of yours. Okay, and then click on the publish button. So once you publish, then you will see an AI agent created like this and you can interact and play with it. That's it, everyone. Okay, so please complete and then do let me know. Okay, let me see in the chat. Instructions in the text file. Okay, let me put it in the same text file which we are using. That is our lang chain. Okay, the people who wanted in the text file, I'm just adding it and just put a dotted lines here. And underneath that, I'm putting the text file. Let me save this and sorry, send it to everybody in the main chat. Okay, so I just have sent it to everyone as part of the document also where we have added the instructions. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Kirti. That is the right approach. Correct. Whatever you understood, right? That's the right one. It's a multi-agent. Okay, within within an agent where we are creating multiple agents, right? So that is going to be considered as a multi-agentic structure. Yeah, exactly. The instructions, whatever we provide, right? Like let's say I have provided e-commerce platform. Now let's say you want to develop it for your use case. Then the instructions will change accordingly, Sangeeta. Okay. So that whatever approach you are thinking of, that is absolutely right. Today, I am targeting the e-commerce platform. So what I'm trying to do, I'm putting e-commerce instruction. But if you are targeting any other domain or any other area, education or maybe any other related thing, then you will change your instructions. That is covered tomorrow. I will cover that tomorrow. Today we cover the e-commerce platform. Tomorrow I will cover other domains like education, resume, all these things I will show you in the tomorrow's class. Like without using a code, we can create AI agents for different domains using different tools. Okay, that is covered as part of our tomorrow's discussion. Okay, perfect. Till here, all good. When you add the source, then the knowledge base will come from you only, right, Aditya? Let's say, imagine you have a company, e-commerce company. Your e-commerce company has a return and refund policy that is 15 days. Now, how will my AI agent know that your refund policy is for 15 days? But whereas when I was talking to my agent, the agent was saying it will be 30 days, right? So when you want your own customized data, then you can add the source. That is when the source will be important here. Okay, so if you see here, if you really wish to go ahead and add it anything in the source, okay, so this is to make your AI agent train with your data. If you have your own data, upload the data. And the AI agent is going to upload from the data whatever you have been able to provide in the form of a document so that it can answer from your document rather than using its own skill set or rather than using its own answers. It will depend on your answers, whatever you are providing here as a source in this scenario, Aditya. That's the main reason or the idea behind it. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Okay, so I would request every one of you to please practice this. Tomorrow we are going to create some more no-code AI agents where you can be able to see something like this. You can also do this in your free time. And tomorrow also we will be able to go ahead and create no-code AI agents, where it will be very much helpful for us to go ahead and handle the things appropriately. So we are going to cover all of them as part of our tomorrow's discussion also. So that will be the agenda for the tomorrow's session, where we are going to target mostly the no-code AI agents, and we will see that what are all the different tools are there, what are all the different case studies which we can be able to handle by creating a no-code AI agents. Okay. So with this, we are done with our today's session, everyone. Thank you once again, everyone, for your active participation. We will meet again tomorrow with whatever topic I have been able to set up as an agenda, and then we will proceed further with the topics. Okay, today we completed the graph, the Langgraph, hands-on activity, and then we explored the Landbot, and then we created a no-code AI agent for the e-commerce platform. And I would request that you all also take some time out, complete all these activities whenever you get some time. Okay. So thank you once again, everyone, for your time and patience. Okay, and we will meet again tomorrow with further topics, and then we will explore more about the no-code AI agents. Thank you once again, everyone, and over to you, Shushmita. Thanks for facilitating.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll meet again by tomorrow. So yeah, dear faculty members, I'm just sharing the attendance link once again on the chat, which I have shared it right now. Please mark your attendance and then drop the session. Yeah, thank you all. I'll be winding up for the day. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all.